Hello everybody. Greenbone is a startup company based in Italy and focused in bone regeneration, a leading unmet clinical need and a large market opportunity. Our nature-inspired regenerative bone substitute is in clinical use. We are conducting 2 international clinical studies. The CE mark has been granted in December 2019, so the product is available for commercialization. FDA submission has been completed in March 2020. We have a scalable manufacturing line, and the technology is covered by 3 patents, 2 granted worldwide and 1 pending. Since the beginning of 2015, we raised 11.4 million euro from venture capital, and we are working to close a round B of investment by the end of 2020, beginning 21. The first indication approved by CE mark allows Greenbone to be used in patients with bone loss caused by trauma or surgically induced in the extremities, arms, legs, hands, foot, and the pelvis. This slide shows the different shapes and size of the bone graft we are currently manufacturing. Blocks and hollow cylinder up to a length of 6 centimeters. Greenbone has been conceived since the beginning as a platform technology with the ambition to provide an innovative bone graft to all those patients that need a bone substitute for the orthopedic reconstructive surgery. The gold standard today is still autograft, bone transplant with clear and well-known side effects. This on its own confirms that all the other available alternatives, cadaver bone, and the range of different synthetic material suffer from some limitation that does not allow to match and satisfy the expectation of the orthopedic surgeon. Our goal is to provide for the first time a synthetic material that is not only able to be integrated into the body, into the bone, but indeed is able to trigger a natural regenerative process that allows to regenerate bone even in case of large bone defects. Why Greenbone is inspired by nature? Because we are using natural wood as a starting material, in particular rattan wood, which is close to bamboo also in terms of the territory of origin. Rattan wood has a beautiful and extraordinary internal 3D porosity architecture, which is so close to the one in our bone. So thanks to our technology, we take rattan wood, we shape it accordingly with the bone that we want to regenerate, and then along our manufacturing process, we completely change the chemistry from brown to white without losing in any step of the process the beautiful 3D architecture provided by nature. The chemical composition of Greenbone bone substitute is a combination of hydroxyapatite, beta-3-calcium phosphate, and some iron. The same chemical composition of natural bone matrix. In addition, it retains internally the 3D porous architecture derived from the original wood. This allows Greenbone to achieve altogether those features that are needed for a successful bone substitute in triggering a regenerative process. Not only to be biocompatible and resorbable, but in addition, having altogether properties of osteointegration, osteoinduction, and osteoconduction, together with the appropriate mechanical strengths. This slide allows you to appreciate the key features and characteristics from a morphological point of view of our innovative bone graft. Not only the internal longitudinal and interconnected porosities that we mentioned before and that came from the original wood, both from the macro to the nanoscales, but thanks to the fact that we can benefit from this existing 3D architecture, we do not need to apply at the end of the process any sintering step, like all the other ceramic bone substitutes that are made starting from powder. And this is the reason why, as it's possible to observe in the X-ray at high magnification on the right, we preserve the nanocrystals bioactive morphology of hydroxyapatite. And this is the only one that allows hydroxyapatite to be metabolized by bone cells and allow Greenbone to enter the bone turnover. Last but not least, the combination of this feature also made Greenbone to behave like a damage-tolerant material. In other words, Greenbone graft is not brittle as the classical ceramic bone substitute. This slide summarizes the results of the study in large animals. The orthopedic surgeon from the Rizzoli Orthopedic Institute in Italy went to Israel at the Asaf Harofeh Medical Center to make the osteotomy of to the sheep and treat them introducing Greenbone graft. After 6 months, we have observed a complete regeneration of the bone loss with more than 70% resorption of the bone graft and replacement with new functional bone with very nice new osteon properly revascularized and with mechanical and elastic properties very close to the pre-existing cortex. In comparison with the group receiving bone transplant, the results show that Greenbone had substantially the same performance. We are conducting 2 clinical studies, one treating long bone critical defects involving different European hospitals. We have 4 patients recruited so far. The second study is performed in UK to treat iliac crest in those areas where bone is harvested for bone transplantation. In this second study, 7 patients have been recruited so far. Altogether, 11 patients with no adverse event and some of them already properly healed and bone restored. It's important to note that we have demonstrated through a couple of cadaver labs that Greenbone can be properly shaped by the surgeon in the theater to achieve the best fit, and it can be used in combination with any of the routinely apply stabilization systems, so either X-Fix, plate, and intramedullary nail. This is a summary of the interim assessment performed in the iliac crest study, confirming the expected product profile, not only in terms of usability and easy to apply during the surgery, but indeed for the good and well covered and continuity of the anatomy, together with bone healing and bone restoration. The market of bone substitute is very attractive, not only considering the bone substitute currently sold on the market, but even more looking after the number of procedures that includes also all those patients that are treated using bone transplant, using autograft. And considering the number of procedures, Greenbone has been projected to have a very interesting potential market performance, combining trauma, the already approved indication through the CE mark, and spine application, the next target we are going to develop, and both Europe and US. The expected peak sales are in the area of 500 million euro plus. As said at the beginning, we are working to close a round B of investment for 15 million euro by the end of 2020, beginning 21. These resources will finance the next 3 years of the company growth that is mainly driven by 4 key areas. The first one is the expansion of clinical use, not only considering the 2 clinical studies, but beyond them, in order to allow the expansion and the growth of use of the product in the clinical arena. The second goal to achieve in this field is the development of the product also for the spine application. The second pillar is related to the completion of the FDA process and the expansion of the regulatory approval beyond Europe and US. Third objective is the improvement of the manufacturing capacity through a new line in addition to the existing one, in order also to provide business continuity for the future years. And the fourth key area is the growth of the company to approach commercialization. The management company in its seniority covers business, material science, regulatory and quality. This slide shows you also the panel of international clinical expert orthopedic surgeon that support the clinical development plan of the company. In our board of investors, some of the key investors that join the company in the round A are seated, and all of them are ready to reinvest in the company also for the round B. Last point, a couple of information on the area where we are. We are based in a very nice middle-aged town called Faenza. Faenza historically is one of the heart for ceramic applications since the Middle Age. And all the ecosystem in the area is, from an industrial point of view, is based on ceramics. So we have been able to benefit from a stratification of knowledge in ceramic processing and manufacturing that allow us to discover and apply such new technology that for the first time is able to transform a natural material like wood into a bone graft with unique properties, able not only to improve the quality of life of patients, but even to potentially decrease the healthcare and social costs that are normally very high for this kind of patient. Thank you so much for your attention.